Small business owners are the biggest job creators, but a new report raises questions about their financial health. With me now on set is Diana Farrell, the president and CEO of the JPMorgan Chase Institute. And Diana, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Good to be back.
So you did a pretty comprehensive report on the financial well-being of small business owners. 600,000 small business owners were surveyed, and the median small business could only last 27 days if they ran into a rough patch and cash stopped coming into their business. So that's pretty worrisome.
It is worrisome, and it's important because the small business sector is 45% of GDP, and it's 48% of employment. And we need to begin to understand what are common themes that would help make that a stronger sector of the economy. It's been losing ground both on GDP and employment over time, and yet the information we have on the sector is very scarce. Why? Because it's very heterogeneous, too many different kinds, very subscale businesses. So what we've done at the Institute is to create a sample of real businesses, 600,000 of them, 597,000 to be precise, where we don't just go and ask them in a survey-based, what do you think, what's going on? We are able to observe what their financial flows are and not, anonymized, to really understand what is their financial well-being. And what we're learning is they're living very much on the margin. So 27 cash buffer days, that's what we call it. This is the amount of sort of liquid balance that they have to cover their outflows. And many of these businesses are very, very small, and so small amounts of money can make a very big difference.
And like consumers, they don't have much of an emergency fund. The survey also found that the median small business had on average $374 coming in every day and $381 leaving. That doesn't give much breathing room.
It doesn't give them much breathing room, and they're so tight, exactly, there's a very small margin. Their balances on average are just over $12,000. And so you think of several days go by where there's a bad storm, or several days go by where the electricity, there's a problem, a heater blows out or something like that, and a business is in real trouble. If you survey, i.e. talk to businesses as opposed to observe their actual financial activity, they will all say it's the cash. If we don't manage the cash, we fall out. And that's where most businesses get in trouble. So beginning to shed light on this question of how well are businesses equipped to manage their liquidity? Do they have the tools? Are they doing the proper accounting? Do we think about not just giving them credit to open up a store or a factory or otherwise, but to manage their liquidity? I think that's a fruitful area that plays out differently by industry. So you mentioned our finding of 27 cash buffer days across all small businesses. But if you're a restaurant, typical restaurant will have 16 cash buffer days. No wonder we see so many restaurants cycle in and out of existence. For others, the numbers are higher. They're a little more resilient. But learning that granularity by industry, by city, for each business, we think is a really important area for both good business management and for good policy.
Now, if you had to grade small business health, what would it be?
Well, I would hesitate to give one grade categorically across even our findings, only because for some people, they may have low liquid buffer immediately available, but they have personal resources that they can draw on if need be. So I think we want to take these numbers with some caution. But in any case, there's no question that whether it comes to being more resilient or having better access to credit or otherwise, having more of a liquid buffer is going to make them stronger. So in that case, there's real room for improvement.
And just very quickly before we let you go, when we look at the Small Business Optimism Index, which is a widely respected gauge on how small business owners are feeling, we're seeing that index kind of come down a little bit, showing that small business owners are nervous. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think they're feeling vulnerable because especially in a world of uncertainty, political uncertainty at the moment, other kinds of economic uncertainty, not having much of a buffer really makes you exposed. And that's, I think, what we're hearing from small businesses.
Diana Farrell from the JPMorgan Chase Institute, thank you for coming back.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you. I'm Scott Gamm, and you're watching The Street.